watch the show. I'm not happy, but we're gonna get into it. The show kicked off with Cody and Solo cutting their respective promos. As Cody began to cut his promo, Solo cut him off respectfully, well, disrespectfully, and essentially was just like, you can save all of that bullshit. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to take the championship off of you, bring it back to the bloodline. The previous tribal chief was weak. That's why you was able to beat him. But I'm not him, and I'm going to win. That was pretty much the gist of what he was saying, right? Cody was like, nah, I beat the tribal chief. You're a wannabe. And since you're a wannabe, this is going to be a cakewalk. You feel me? Now, he told Jacob Fatu he was a big, dumb son of a bitch and he wasn't afraid of him. Said to Tama, look, we got a storied past. We go way back, but you know damn well I'm not afraid of you. And Tongaloa ain't nobody scared of you. Okay? So he cut everybody down. And that's when the homies left and Smackdown began. Now, after that, Carmelo Hayes cut a promo on Andrade, alluded to him switching off from company to company, talking his shit or whatever. He then had a match with Andrade tonight. He tried to roll Andrade up and get him with a cheap roll up pin. Tried to hold his tights. That didn't work, and he ended up losing the match due to Andrade rolling him up. So there's a lot going on. It was a whole lot of chat. Anyways, we had another match between Apollo Crews and Santos Escobar. Santos Escobar was upset because last week he lost in his match, I believe it was to LA Knight. And he also was upset that Legado del Fantasma lost in the tag team gauntlet. And so they needed to make an example of Apollo Crews tonight, which it took all of them to beat him, which was wild, including Baron Corbin, who was out there having his back. I kind of wanted Apollo to go over. I feel like a Legado need to be in more of a slump. Losing 2 matches in a row to me is not a slump. I don't know about y'all, but that's not a slump to me. And I feel like they could have done better than that. Okay. So we had that. Okay. The tag team titles were defended. Both tag team titles were defended, if you call it that. It really wasn't much of a defense between Alba and Isla because as soon as they got into the groove of the match and it looked like they was about to lose, Blair Davenport interfered in this match for some weirdo reason. Like it was just out of nowhere. She is an odd duck, and I don't mean that in a good way. I mean it in a way of like the way she does things is very sloppy and she has no cleanliness to the way she wrestles, and I don't like that. That makes me very, very irritated with her performance. And I know a lot of people like Blair, live your best life, but she is very sloppy in the ring to me. She attacked Jade, and the ref called for a DQ. Y'all know titles don't change hands on DQ. Even though Bianca and Jade technically won that match, they were outnumbered by the 3 goons that I don't know what they gonna call themselves. I guess they gonna put Blair in this faction with them. And of course, Naomi was nowhere to be found. She was not here. So it wasn't an easy win or an easy beatdown for all 3 of them because it took all 3 of them to take down Bianca and it took all 3 of them to take out Jade, which they did viciously. They threw Jade over the table. She hit her back on the edge of that chair and she was laid out. She didn't get up and nobody was over there. They was calling for the doctors to respond. It was a lot. So hopefully that was just, kayfabe and she's okay. She didn't really get injured, but yeah, it was a lot. So those were all the matches outside of the men's tag team title, which main evented, right? So Logan Paul had a, it was whack. He claimed it was a ceremony where he was being honored, and these were esteemed members of Cleveland. They weren't. None of them people were anything to our city. Let me reiterate. None of those people in the ring meant anything to the city of Cleveland in any way, shape, or form. They have no jurisdiction of any kind in the city. They ain't no mayor. They ain't no city councilman. They're no governors of the state. They are nothing. They mean absolutely nothing to the city or to the state of Ohio. I don't know who they were. They were obviously actors and actresses out there. Cool. Nick busted them and was like, I Googled these bitches and nothing came up for these hoes. And he was like, oh, don't worry about it. They're legit. Sure. So he wanted to hang a banner in the rafters to forever commemorate his title reign, his 2 title defenses in 200 plus days. And well, the banner drops and it just has yeah written across his face. So he's very upset. He's distraught. He's dismayed. How dare you disrespect me this way? You know, whatever. LA Knight goes in the back and looks for a banner for him to replace it, can't find it, but his prime truck is out there. So he gets in Logan Paul's prime truck, and Logan Paul's stupid ass literally runs out there, and LA Knight drives away. Gone like a thief in the night in this man's prime truck. It's a pretty gaudy prime truck. It's really gaudy and hideous looking. But anyways, he's a whole ass weirdo, so I really hope that he loses tomorrow. I do. I really hope he loses. I'm keeping it all the way 100. I hope he loses. This match pissed me off. This was Johnny Gargano's homecoming. Do you understand? This is probably going to be one of the only times that he actually gets to wrestle in a main event in Cleveland, Ohio. And while SummerSlam is probably going to be a high success, from the way the kickoff went today, with how loud everybody was, with the way everything has been going in terms of the city being so welcoming to everybody, from what I'm hearing, everybody's having a great time being here. People love it here. They're enjoying the festivities. They're enjoying the city itself. From what I'm hearing, everybody's having a good time, which I'm happy about. Johnny Gargano's father's restaurant burned to the ground and it is gone. And it was a real big thing because everybody that was coming to Cleveland was going to go to Gargano's. That was the thing. Like, we were all of the IWC were in agreement on that. If you were coming here, you were going to Gargano's. Unfortunately, you can't because the place burned down. And I just thought, like, maybe Triple H, just maybe, you know, he would throw us a little bit of a bone today and let Gargano walk in as champion and walk out as champion. But I knew the moment that they did that long ass intro with Ciampa and Gargano that he wasn't gonna leave as the champion. And I hate that for Johnny, because he deserves the right to be able to stand in front of his people and be admired as a champion. Not just in terms of him coming to the city as champ, but him being able to leave as champion, have a successful title defense as champion. He didn't even get to keep the title long enough, in my opinion, before now you put it right back on the bloodline. It's just as unnecessary as them putting that title back on Judgment Day. It wasn't needed. Let's just say the Slim Jim car was 10 times better than that Prime car. And that's not even me trying to be funny. I'm dead ass. That Prime car looked like a souped up Hummer, like a Hummer truck. I can't tell you what it was. You would have to go online and look. But it was ugly. Unfortunately, Ciampa and Gargano were not able to best the team of Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Both of them put up a good fight. It was a decent match, but ultimately, the tag team titles are now on the new bloodline, which fucking sucks. It sucks. Go put on some deodorant, Junior. So that was disappointing. That broke my heart. That made me so upset. I didn't like that. But unfortunately, that's how the chips fall. I mean, if you care, since Melina Khan cares, Tiffany Stratton got a new briefcase from her friend Nia Jax. I don't care. It was a footnote in the show. It definitely didn't carry the show. It doesn't mean anything to me, but if it means something to you, congratulations. She has a new briefcase. Love that for her. Anyways, other than that, that was it. That was SmackDowns. It was very loud in there though. It was nuts. The city was very, very much alive. And when they did the kickoff show today, Triple H came out there. The noise was deafening. You could not even hear yourself talk. That's how loud it was out there. So it's gonna be crazy at the stadium. It's gonna be batshit bonkers at the stadium. But I'm very, very excited and very curious to see how it's going to be for all of the matches leading into SummerSlam, which is going to start tomorrow. And if you care about the countdown to SummerSlam, countdown starts at around 5, and you guys can watch it leading all the way up until 8, which is when the show actually starts. I believe it's either 8 or 7. I'm not quite sure, but just to be safe, pop in around 7 o'clock, see what they doing. But here's the match card. This is the only non-title bout on the match card. CM Punk will face off against Drew McIntyre, and the special guest referee will be none other than Seth freaking Rollins. I did not pick an opponent to win in this match because I saw this happening so many different ways. But I'm gonna say if I had to pick a definitive winner, that winner's gonna be Drew McIntyre. I think that if somebody's gonna win first, it's gonna be Drew, and it's gonna be under some nefarious means. Is the only way I can explain it. Um, but they may give this W to CM Punk as well because Drew does still have his bracelet. But I can give the W to Drew and then have CM Punk attack him afterwards and get the bracelet. So there's all kinds of ways that this can be done. But I'm going to give the W to Drew. I'm just going to pick Drew. I have no dog in this fight. I like everybody in this match. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Seth. I like them all. So it doesn't matter to me who wins. The feud is going to be good either way. Moving into title bouts, these are the mid-card titles. Sami Zayn will face off against Braun Breaker. Unfortunately, I think Braun Breaker's probably going to take this one. I hate that for Sami, and I hate that for us that we have to watch Braun Breaker running around on SmackDown Raw, cheesing and happy because he has a fucking belt that he whined, bitched, and moaned to get. Sure, go off, King. Anyways, Logan Paul will face off against LA Knight. I'm curious as to how this is going to play out, but I'm hoping it will play out with LA Knight being champ because I feel like Logan's probably going to do something to weasel out of winning. He probably is going to blatantly low blow LA Knight and retain his championship. I'm going to stick with LA Knight, but I have a really sore feeling that Logan Paul's going to retain his championship, and that fucking sucks. Then we have Rhea Ripley facing off against Liv Morgan. I'm going to give the W to Liv Morgan. I think Liv's got something up her sleeve. I think Dominic Mysterio's either going to aid and embed her in this match, or it's going to be Liv and Finn that's finally going to be revealed as a double agent. I'm not sure how this is going to play out, but I know it's not going to end with Rhea Ripley being champion. Then moving back into the other half for SmackDown, the women are competing. You've got Pammy Packets Bailey going up against Nia Jax. Now, there was no back and forth between these two today. They just did a recap of their feud. I'm a little torn on this feud. Nia could very well take this championship from Bayley, but I don't think that she will. I'm going to go Bayley on this one. I think Bayley's going to retain. I think it's going to look like Tiffany Stratton's going to attempt to cash in. That's going to cause a big distraction. And then Nia's going to get pinned for the 1-2. Maybe Tiffany might attempt to cash in. I'm not sure, but I just don't see her. I don't know. I don't see Bayley dropping this title right now at SummerSlam. She could, but I just don't see it happening. Moving into the massive title scene, the big one, okay? Damian Priest will defend his World Heavyweight Championship against none other than Gunta, okay? Now, Damian Priest has been screaming from the rooftops how much of a fighter he is and how much heart he has, and he is going to defend his title with every fiber of his being and do everything possible to keep the Silver Spoon boy away from this championship. Meanwhile, Gunther aims to bring prestige and, to bring power and, of course, a polished look back to this championship because he feels like with it being on Damien, it's no longer respected. It doesn't mean anything, but on him, it'll mean the world. So who do I pick? I'm going with Damian Priest. I think Priest is going to beat Gunther in this match. Do I think it's going to be a clean 100% win? No, but I do think that Priest is going to beat Gunther. I think he's going to win. Last bout, we've got Solo Sikoa and Cody Rhodes facing off. This match has changed. This match was a traditional match, but now it is officially Bloodline rules. Now, whoever wins in this match is definitely going to be Cody. I don't think Solo is going to win this match. If he does, I'll be shocked. It'll piss me off beyond end. But I don't think that Solo's going to win this match. However, this match isn't meant for Solo to win. This match is meant for one of two things. It either is going to flush out Roman to come back and start some shit again, or it's going to flush out The Rock to start some shit again. Me personally, I've heard two rumors. One of the rumors is that it's not Roman who's coming back, it's The Rock. The Rock has fulfilled all his contractual obligations when it comes to the movies that he had to do for the year. So he is more than capable and eligible to return to the E to start his final boss movement once again. However, the other rumor that I've heard is that Roman is finished with his contractual obligations as well, and with Solo incessantly calling Roman out, calling him weak, doing everything in his power to diminish and demise everything that Roman was doing and basically tear down Roman's version of the bloodline and literally take over. They say that Roman is the one who's coming back at SummerSlam. Who's coming back? Does it really matter? Yes and no. So it matters in a sense of how the storyline will continue on because Cody should be removed from this storyline by who shows up at SummerSlam. This should remove Cody out of the picture and out of the fight with the bloodline and make the bloodline a family thing with no title. However, if it's The Rock, it won't be like that. The Rock has his own vendetta against Cody. So if it's The Rock just might join, take over the bloodline, and remove Solo on his own. But then that would cut off an opportunity of Roman facing off against Solo and taking him down as the tribal chief. So there are many different ways that this can play out, but I don't know. But I will say this. I don't believe for a second that Solo is going to be the one to take that championship off of Cody. It would be extremely anticlimactic, in my opinion. So I wouldn't give it to him. I don't know because all over Twitter, aka X, Logan is in controversy of being transphobic due to what he posted. So maybe he will lose tomorrow. Okay. Side note, I'm making homemade chocolate chip cookies for one of my assistant managers is transferring which I'm sad about. Okay. If they let Roman Reigns keep the main event at Mania, then they're not caring about Logan at this point. Okay. Hey, Tay, how are you? Anyway, but also when your sister is a real one, when she know that I love Braun Breaker and Marvel, so she buys me a Braun Breaker and an Avengers keychain. That's very sweet. So I'll consider it as a late B day, early Christmas present. Okie dokie. Whatever makes you happy. Child, I forgot. I was waiting. I've been in here for 22 minutes, babe. Roman returns and murders Solo. Sure, whatever makes you happy. Um, so that is gonna be SummerSlam. Also, The Miz is officially hosting SummerSlam, so there's probably gonna be some goodies there, and of course, Jelly Roll is performing at SummerSlam, so there's gonna be a little breakup in between those matches and everything. So we got some good shit going. It seems like everybody's having a good time here in Cleveland. I am very happy about that. I love it when everybody has a good time in my city. Okay. I love it. So, tomorrow is the big day. We are going to enjoy SummerSlam. I don't think I'm going to live stream SummerSlam. I got to figure out how I can do that and work out the kinks and still enjoy my time. I am entertaining my folks tomorrow. I hope they got here. They seem to have gotten here. I'm going to get a text message and make sure I'm texting them to see if they're okay. They're gonna rest, and then they'll be here with me tomorrow around 2, and we'll be here, and I'll be cooking and ripping and running and getting everything ready. I pre-prepped everything, y'all. I got spinach dip down there in the fridge that's ready to go in the oven. I got the wings seasoned in the refrigerator. They're bagged and ready to go. That's all I gotta do is prep the wings, get them done. My sister-in-law's making egg rolls, the cheeseburger ones, and she's making like Philly cheesesteak ones, and I think she's making a pizza roll one. It's gonna be fun tomorrow. We just gonna. I decided to not have alcohol tomorrow, so we're not gonna drink. We just gonna. Well, they might want to drink, which I have alcohol for them if they want to. But we just gonna chill. We gonna eat us some good food, and we gonna have some dips and all kind of stuff, and we gonna eat and have a good time. I just don't want to drink. No shade. Just don't want to drink tomorrow. I'll be drinking the next day when I have the brunch, but I'm not gonna drink this time. So no biggies. There'll be chips down there as well. There'll be I might make another batch of spinach dip just to cover the dip that I made. But there'll be chips down there. There'll be my mother's making a big old punch bowl cake, which I'll show y'all maybe on my socials. She's making that. There'll be chips down there. There'll be cookies. There's all kind of shit that's gonna be downstairs. So ain't no thing, okay? We're gonna have a good time. So I hope y'all enjoyed me recapping SmackDown for y'all. It was a very, very simple, quiet show. It was loud, but it wasn't, if that makes sense. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Get everybody hyped for the show. They let Cleveland down a little bit by, taking out our only son. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, The one that's in dad's ice maker, I didn't clean that ice out, and it's got the cleaning solution in it, so you don't need to eat that. The one that's in the actual ice maker. Okay. All right. So y'all make sure y'all double back here, because after we do the show, after we watch the show, I'm gonna go live and my peoples will be here and we can all go live together and talk about the show, and y'all will see. We're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be amazing with a capital A. So make sure you come back over here so we can talk about the show and what we liked and what we didn't like and where we are headed going into Bash in Berlin, as well as Bad Blood that is right there in October. That's the one that I'm more curious about. And they did make an announcement. Okay. They made an announcement today about Survivor Series. Okay. Survivor Series will be in Vancouver, British Columbia, which is Canada, I believe. Am I wrong? Do I know my geography? Yeah. British Columbia, Canada. I had to make sure I got it right. So, Survivor Series War Games, it is still going to be called War Games. I bet you it's going to be Bloodline versus Cody and somebody, child. So, it seems Triple H loved making his War Games matches have a theme. When he was in NXT Black and Gold, all of the War Games matches included Undisputed Era. Every single one of them. There was never a time when there was a War Games that didn't include Undisputed Era. And now we have a Survivor Series War Games, and there's never been a War Games that didn't include fucking Bloodline. Okay, so here we are, ladies and germs. Survivor Series War Games is going to be live, loud, and in color from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Okay, so we got all of that happening. Okay, we got a fun time. Okay, we got a lot within the next couple of months. So we have Bash in Berlin. That's the next one after SummerSlam. This is at the end of August, which is 3 weeks from now. And then we have Bad Blood on October 5th. And then we have like a 2-month break. October, November. We got like a little bit of a break because October 5th is in the beginning of the month and War Games is at the end of the month. I imagine that in between there, probably early November, is where Crown Jewel is going to pop up. And they're going to go to Crown Jewel over in Saudi somewhere or Riyadh. You know, something like that. With all that being said, though, ladies and gents, y'all make sure you come back here tomorrow after Survivor Series, after SummerSlam, and we can get this party popping when we start talking about the show, what we liked, what we disliked, the whole nine. We're gonna give y'all all of it. Until then, my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed my recap of Smackdown, and I will see you guys tomorrow when we talk about SummerSlam. Bye.